What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video, a brand new episode of The Atmosphere, brought to you by the Lead Sports Media. I'm your host, Cameron Prichard. I think the parity that we saw last year in the league and that we're looking forward to next year is priming us for a very exciting and riveting offseason. With the trades we've already seen, the Beal to Phoenix trade and the Porzingis to Boston trade, there's already been some blockbuster movement for sure, but I feel like with the lack of movement we've seen so far too, rumblings, all the rumors, everything that's going on, and like I just said, the parity that we're faced in the league these days. I think so many teams are looking to shake things up this offseason, and we've already seen some teams that I want to dive into in this video jump off the deep end and do whatever it seems like it takes to make just a loud team, a great roster, and make some noise in just a very open NBA. With the draft just ending last night, it seems like only so much has happened before and during that we are set up for so much to go on. I don't really have a set plan for this video. I'm just looking to rapid fire get my thoughts off on a lot of the movement that has happened so far and what I think is definitely gonna happen in these next few months, because there's just so much going on. I gotta realign myself, and I'm very happy to get these videos back and rolling. So to start, I want to look at this Bradley Beal trade, and I gotta be honest, my first thought is if you don't think that the Suns got better, you're just looking at this completely wrong. I promise you. Really think about it in a vacuum. They took the scoring of 39-year-old Chris Paul and Landry Shamet and turned that into a perennial all-star Bradley Beal, all-NBA caliber guy who is more than capable of getting his own bucket. And that's not necessarily an issue with the Suns right now. You know, they have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, but when it came down to it last year, what did Denver do? They said, Chris Paul, go do something against us. Landry Shamet getting absolutely obliterated by Jamal Murray. I appreciate the effort on both sides, but it just wasn't there, and it was clear. I think it's just clear that they needed a little more of a shakeup. They already made the Monty Williams move. There's still some drama with DeAndre Ayton, what's going to happen there, but they clearly needed to shake things up and spark something new, spark a new way. And if you saw the drama that Chris Paul was trying to start with the continuously saying Matt Ishbia and Isaiah Thomas were the ones that wanted to go in the new direction, I think that's true in a sense. I think Matt Ishbia is looking to start a new era in Phoenix. He's coming out aggressive in all these trade talks, all these rumors. The Suns are always in them, and that's just because Phoenix is just such a prime landing spot these days. Devin Booker already made it that, but Kevin Durant is only supplementing what already was such a great place to play. It's very easy to look at this trade and say, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm just rolling with it, and we hope it works, because I agree. I don't necessarily know what they're doing either, but I hope it works. I'm not in the front office, but I'm hoping they know what they're doing in a sense, and clearly they do. But this isn't it for Phoenix. This isn't going to be the final move we see. They're going to be looking to add more pieces, whether it be free agency. I know they can only do so much with how much money they have, but I don't see DeAndre Ayton staying with the Suns this offseason. I'm thinking eventually he's going to get traded, whether the Celtics are looking to move off Rob Williams because they just made the Porzingis trade. I could see something happening there. Maybe the Magic are looking to upgrade and just get a more traditional center down there, maybe a Wendell Carter Jr., maybe another guard trade. Though I know those have been tossed up by a few different reporters around Twitter. And I'll agree, it's crazy to take this Bradley Beal trade at face value for sure, and looking at the current roster they still have, it's just kind of an insane thought that they're going to run it back with almost the same squad and just add Bradley Beal to it and replace Landry and Chris Paul. But I think they're going to shake things up. I think things are going to continue to happen. Bradley Beal is just going to add just a different dynamic, I feel like. And a common trend among the analysis of this trade is that you just kind of have copy-paste 3 different guys now in the lineup, and I just don't necessarily agree with that. Bradley Beal is going to bring very much his own dynamic to this. He's very much a 3-level scorer, just like Book and Kevin Durant, but Bradley Beal just has much more initiative getting to the basket. He just has so much aggression getting to the basket. He just sees the rim so differently. As much as people think, he doesn't fall in love with the jumper as much as maybe Kevin Durant and Book do in a sense, but that's going to provide, like I said, a different dynamic that a lot of people just aren't seeing. I think Phoenix is still going to look for, obviously, some more wing depth, some more length and defense to add to it, but I think they do need to look for a little bit better of a facilitator to come off the bench instead of campaign. They need to find someone who, when it's 2 of the 3 on the floor in Book, Katie, and Beal, that they need to have someone else out there to help, just at least help set up everyone else a little bit better. So I'm looking for Phoenix to still make some splashes in the offseason, and like I said, probably still trying to find a suitor for DeAndre. All right, now the next trade I want to dive into is the Porzingis to Boston trade, because there's actually a lot of moving parts in that one when you look at it. Hold up the details here. So when you really look at it, all the Celtics shipped out was Marcus Smart. They got Porzingis back and 2 first-round picks, one which they used yesterday. The Wizards obviously shipped out Porzingis, but they're getting back Tyus Jones, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and another first-round pick that they used yesterday. And I'm actually thinking this isn't necessarily all the details, but the Grizzlies really sent out Tyus Jones, like 2 first-round picks, and I think some more picks, all for Marcus Smart. Only a little confused because some of the picks were used yesterday during the draft, and I just don't know where they are now and up in the air. So getting back to that, the very first thought that came to my head when I saw the Porzingis to Boston trade is that I liked it. I'm gonna be honest, I liked it. My heart was a little broken, I'm not gonna lie, because I was sort of hoping the Suns would end up trading with Boston. They'd make a DeAndre Ayton trade, maybe Rob Williams, Marcus Smart to Phoenix. That was something I was hoping for eventually. You just hate to see a guy like Marcus Smart leave Boston, but if anything, his personality is translating perfect into this Grizzlies culture. I think he's going to fit in like no other. I feel like with Ja gone for the first 25 games, he's going to have an opportunity to take initiative and insert himself into the offense and make himself felt and really figure himself out in the offense for sure. And I'm really excited for how that defense is going to turn out. I'm sure Marcus Smart is going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's going to try to make some noise this season for sure. First year away from Boston, and with Jaren Jackson Jr. behind him, he's going to have a lot of confidence and a lot of support for sure. So I'm looking for Marcus Smart to have a good year in Memphis for sure. And I think Porzingis in Boston, he's an underrated passer, great defender around the rim, so he's gonna provide even more help when you have lineups like with Al Horford out there, and maybe just Al Horford and him. You can still go 5 out, but when it comes down to it on the other end, he can still protect the paint, you know, provide some leverage for Rob Williams. I was listening to the Low Post earlier, and they just brought up the fact that it's just great insurance for sure. So I love the insurance factor, and if they end up not trading Rob Williams and keeping the trio they're going to have down there on Rob, Al Horford, and Porzingis, I think it's going to be pretty solid. I'm going to be very interested to see who they end up have running their offense. I mean, they don't necessarily have a point guard anymore. They are going to be running Malcolm Brogdon, who they already tried to trade in this same exact trade. Which, how crazy is that? You never see that. You rarely ever see that. Trade gets reported that it's almost done. It's damn near completely done. Completely falls through. We know names and everything, completely falls through. That's insane. That should just not happen, I'm gonna be honest. And I'm on the side that I think the Wizards got back a fine return. They've controlled what they can control. There was only so much in their hands that they could actually play with, you know, so I feel like when it came down to it, I mean, they've ended up, I haven't gotten to it yet, but they've ended up with a few good young guards, Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole. They got some room to work with cap space soon, so I don't know, some picks have come in with some of these trades too, so I think they've escaped out of the old ownership shadow in a fine enough light. They're really setting themselves up for some sort of success, or just moving off what was from the past. We're getting into what I just hinted at, the Chris Paul to the Warriors trade. What the hell, man? When I thought Chris Paul and Steph hated each other, which, I mean, alright, it's all optics, I get it, but like, he hates Steve Kerr, I'm pretty sure too. I watched him go to battle against those guys in his Houston days, and I genuinely think there's like a low-key hatred, so we'll see what happens. It's come out that they're committed to keeping him and working with him and trying to compete this year with him, but I've also seen some other speculation that maybe they'll end up waiving him, which I could see it. I mean, eventually just trying to get more cap relief and sign somebody else in the free agent market, apparently. I don't know, it's just still not fully clicking in my head, and then the way they just obviously are off Jordan Poole drama. Whatever drama that was there, whatever drama he's going to have in the future, his up and down play. I mean, he's shown that he's good before. I know he wasn't really shown in the recent playoff runs they had, but he's shown he's been good before. So, I mean, they were having problems with trying to do two things at once, compete for a championship and try to develop some young talent. So I think they're just really buying into the give me all the old heads we can get and let's just try to win another ring, a little last dance opportunity for them. We'll see where Draymond goes. I would love Draymond to end up in Phoenix somehow on some sort of minimum deal. I don't necessarily see him taking any sort of pay cut necessarily, but him going back to the Warriors also wouldn't necessarily shock me, so we'll see what happens there. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I just wanted to use this space to just rant about some of the trades that have already gone on and just express my excitement for how much craziness I think is going to happen this offseason, because the draft got me ready, man. The draft got me so excited. Because also, as I mentioned, the just sort of lack of movement during the draft kind of just got me ready and got me antsy for what's going to happen this offseason. We saw the drama happen pre-draft, but I thought a little more is going to happen during the draft, that I'm just ready for the offseason to kick in, because I think it's going to be a crazy one. So many people are going to try to win a ring this year. Denver's looked at the juggernaut because they have such continuity and they are so well-rounded and they looked so good last year, just bulldozing over every single opponent that came over their way. And I think teams are just going to go swing for the fences to try to knock this team out, because it seems like once you knock Denver out, that the playing field is pretty level, that everyone has their own problems, everyone got their own concerns. It comes down to just who has the best timing, who has the best path, and kind of who probably won't have to face them. We'll see what Portland ends up doing with Damian Lillard. I mean, Scoop, fell in their lap. I'm on the Scoot train. I think Charlotte should have picked him second over Brandon Miller, but when it comes down to it, they're going to do what they're going to do, and Scoot ended up in his lap. If I'm Dame, I'm pretty excited to play along Scoot, but I know that's not what he wanted. It's not necessarily a secret, but what was Portland, supposed to do? If there's no suitors pre-draft, it's not like they were just going to trade down or anything like that, so they had to make the pick, and I think they should be excited that Scoot fell in their lap for sure. Of course, Chris Haynes dropped the report post-draft that Damian Lillard hasn't talked to Portland executives at all about any draft picks or any future plans. So we'll see what's going to happen there. James Harden drama. What's going to happen with them? We got the Clippers. I mean, they just tried to make a little splash with Malcolm Brogdon, but are they trying to shake things up with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard? Are they actually going to be healthy next year? Got Chris Middleton. He declined his option. Is he going to resign somewhere else? I think the indication is that he's going to resign in Milwaukee, probably take a team cut, but we'll see what happens there. I can't even think of all the things off the top of my head. There's so many trending rumors and so much stuff going around that. That's what I'm saying, that people are going to swing for the fences this offseason. Pascal Siakam, where he's going to go. The Raptors in general. What are they? I don't even. I've got so many questions. I've got so many videos to make about so many teams this offseason. There's so much content to go around from everybody, so it's just a prime time to be an NBA fan. I gotta be honest, prime. So I hope this video made sense. I just feel like I was ranting. I'm just very excited for the parity. I'm very excited for who's gonna just swing for the fences this offseason, try to make a big splash, and just how next season's gonna start off. So that's all I really got for y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching another episode of The Atmosphere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment who the next big trade you think is gonna be, because I'm sure something's going to happen here soon, probably in the next few days, so you're going to have to comment fast. We'll be back with another video soon. I'm getting right back on the grind here. Like I said, I'm so excited. The draft got me so ready, so I'm tuned in. I'm locked in. I can't believe Chris Paul's on the Warriors, bro. Like, I'm so confused. I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.